mold a little thicker than for pie. Bake in a moderate oven until the apples are done. Serve in the same dish, cutting the crust into several sections. Before cutting, the crust may be lifted and the apples seasoned with butter and sugar, or the seasoning may be added after serving. A liquid or hard sauce may be served with the slump. If the apples are a kind that do not cook easily, bake half an hour, then put on the crust and set back in the oven. Bread puffs with sauce. When bread dough is raised light, cut off small pieces and pull out 2 or 3 inches long. Fry like donuts in deep fat and put into a deep dish. Turn over the puffs a cream sauce seasoned with salt and pepper. Cherry dumplings. Sift 2 cups of pastry flour with 4 level teaspoons of baking powder and a saltspoon of salt. Mix with 3/4 cup of milk, or enough to make a soft dough. Butter some cups well, put a tablespoon of dough in each, then a large tablespoon of stoned cherries and another tablespoon of dough. Set in a steamer or set the cups in a pan of hot water and into the oven to cook for a half an hour. Serve with a sweet liquid sauce. Cottage cheese tartlets. 1 cup cheese, 3 level tablespoons sugar, few grains salt, 2 teaspoons melted butter, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, yolks 2 eggs, 1/4 cup milk, whites 2 eggs. Press the cheese through a potato ricer or sieve. Then add the sugar, salt, butter, lemon juice, and the egg yolks, well beaten and mixed with the milk. Mix well and fold the whites of the eggs, beaten stiff. Line individual tins with pastry and fill 3/4 full with the mixture. Bake in a moderate oven for 30 minutes. Prune tarts. Wash the prunes thoroughly and soak overnight or for several hours. Cook in the same water. When very tender, rub them through a sieve. To 1 cup of the pulp add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, the yolks of 2 eggs beaten with 1/2 cup of thin cream and a few grains of salt. Mix well and sweeten to taste, then fold in the whites of 2 eggs beaten very stiff. Line small tins with paste, fill with the mixture, and bake in a moderate oven. Serve cold. Raspberry dumplings. Wash 1 cup of rice and put into the double boiler. Pour over it 2 cups of boiling water. Add 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar, and cook 30 minutes or until soft. Have some small pudding cloths about 12 inches square. Wring them out of hot water and lay them over a small half-pint bowl. Spread the rice 1/3 of an inch thick over the cloth and fill the center with fresh raspberries. Draw the cloth around until the rice covers the berries and they are a good round shape. Tie the ends of the cloth firmly, drop them into boiling water, and cook 20 minutes. Remove the cloth and serve with lemon sauce. Tart shells. Roll out thin a nice puff paste. Cut with a small biscuit cutter. With cutter take out the centers of 2 or 3 of these. Lay the rings thus made on the third and bake immediately. Shells may also be made by lining patty pans with the paste. If the paste is light, the shells will be fine and may be used for tarts or oyster patties. Filled with jelly and covered with meringue, a tablespoonful of sugar to the white of an egg, and browned in the oven. Bavarian cream. Soak 1/4 of a box of gelatin in cold water until it is soft. Then dissolve it in a cup of hot milk with 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Flavor with vanilla and set away to cool. Whip 1 pint of cream, and when the gelatin is cold and beginning to stiffen, stir in the cream lightly. Form in mold. Boiled custard. Heat 2 cups of milk in a double boiler and pour onto the yolks of 3 eggs beaten light with 3 rounding tablespoons of sugar and a pinch of salt. Return to the double boiler and cook until the spoon will coat with the custard. Cool and add flavoring. Calla lilies. Beat 3 eggs and a rounding cup of sugar together. Add 2/3 cup of flour and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon flavoring. Drop in teaspoonfuls on a buttered sheet allowing plenty of room to spread in baking. Bake in a moderate oven, take up with a knife and roll at once into lily shape. Bake but 4 or 5 at a time, because if the cakes cool even a little they will break. Fill each with a little beaten and sweetened cream. Cocoa custard. For 3 cups of milk, allow 4 tablespoons of cocoa, 3 beaten eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Heat the milk, stir in the cocoa, and cool a little before pouring over the egg and sugar. Bake in custard cups set in a pan of hot water in a moderate oven. Coffee cream. Have 1 1/2 cups of strong coffee hot. Add 1 level tablespoon of gelatin soaked in 1/2 cup of milk for 15 minutes. When well dissolved, add 2/3 cup of sugar, a saltspoon of salt, and the yolks of 3 eggs beaten light. Stir in the double boiler until thick. Take from the fire and add the whites of 3 eggs beaten stiff and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Fill molds that have been dipped in cold water. Set in cool place, and when firm unmold and serve with powdered sugar and cream. Coffee cup custard. 1 quart milk, 1/4 cup ground coffee, 4 eggs, 1/2 cup sugar, 1/4 level teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla. Tie the coffee loosely in a piece of cheesecloth and put into double boiler with the milk. Scald until a good coffee color and flavor is obtained, then remove from the fire. Remove the coffee. Beat the eggs and add the sugar, salt, and vanilla, then pour gradually on the milk. Strain into cups, place in a pan of hot water, and bake in a moderate oven until firm in the middle. Less vanilla is required when combined with another flavoring. End of section 14.